Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. Just a moment here, we'll get the screen share going on. All right. A rather brisk start to the day here this morning as, well, the overnight was a little bit of a mess. You can see very sideways, but you'll have to take my word for it. There's a rather substantial opening gap up here. The market leaving off yesterday somewhere around the 64.73 area. And we're opening a good 23 points below that. The eagle here looking very sideways at the moment. So we'll see whether they try to get into that gap this morning or not. This is also near Friday's lows, or pardon me, Monday's lows, where we are rebounding off of the 63.40 zone. The fur is really flying here this morning, though. My goodness, look at all that activity. Here is our first in-sync eagle signal of the day. For those of you who like that early signal, it's this one right here. So the eagle calling for more bullish market. You Raptor traders need not feel left out. You can do the same thing. You can look for your first in-sync Raptor signal, and that's that one right there. And looks like decent follow through on that. Not really happy when the market is bouncing around a lot. I'd like to see a smoother progression, but well, we'll just stay with it here for a little while. Okay, very strong move out of the open. Hey, way to go, Mark. Mark capitalizing on an early late filter entry signal. I have a feeling it was this one here right out of the gate. Very nice flat trend line on your Falcon. Filter goes out of sync, comes back into sync, and great follow through on that. The early signals can be very good. You know, there's always early momentum in the market, or so it seems to be. You have to decide for yourself whether or not you want to try taking it. After all, at the end of the day, it's your money. For me personally, for the way that I trade, what I'm comfortable with, I'll wait. I'll wait a few minutes, see if I can't spot something resembling a trend, and then I'll try to trade accordingly. But right now, it's pretty much a buyer's market, it would seem. I don't know what kind of gap you're reading, Mark. Mark says gap's been filled. Now we'll see where we go from here. My gap from where the market left off yesterday, I got to close at, hold on a second here. I'll get you the exact number. 64.69. Yeah, no problem. Mark says, my mistake. No, it's a rather substantial opening gap here this morning, no question. And a very, very bullish start to the day so far. Yes, definitely. Mark says we're heading that way, though, and I would agree the market is trying to fill that gap, or so it would seem. We've got a few signals brewing here after that quick run up. This, by the way, is characteristic as well, where very often you will see a quick move out of the open, and then you'll see the reverse a few minutes later. Now, not calling for a reverse just yet. The market's still full on bull market so far. See, opening gaps are funny. On the one hand, okay, so we're just talking about the regular session, of course. We're not talking about a 24-hour session. So you have your chart finish and then open down here. Oops. The market's spoiling my example. Okay, so you have the market finish up here. It opens down here. This is an opening gap. One school of thought says the market's going to try to fill that gap, and then it can go either way. Another school of thought says the market will try to fill half that gap, and then it will try to go either way. The third school of thought says that that gap is nothing more than a very, very big bear bar, and therefore the market bias is down. So there's your lessons in gaps, and you can see why it can be a little bit confusing trying to figure out which way the market is going to go when you have these huge gaps. Big gaps don't necessarily fill in one day either. When the stock indices were making their rather substantial rally higher a month or so back, we saw gaps day after day after day. On the way up, and those did not get filled until just recently when the market started heading lower. Oh, by the way, if you wonder how I know the closing price, I just checked my daily chart here. But you can see even from where the market closed to where it opened today, a rather large gap. All right. And now you can see everything's starting to get a little bit more bearish again. We've got a trend change here on the Falcon. We had a first micro-macro cross on the Hawk. We are going to produce a cloud crossover signal here in the Raptor momentarily. Les, you made it. Fantastic. While we're waiting for the market to settle down a little bit, Les asked me a question the other day, excuse me, about trading the E-mini versus the NASDAQ. And as you know, the NASDAQ is kind of my personal favorite, but a lot of people wonder why. Why would I not trade the E-mini? After all, the E-mini is worth $12.50 a tick. The NASDAQ is only $5 a tick. I can make more money trading the NASDAQ, or can I? All right, let's take a look here at an example. Well, actually, let's just do this example right here from this morning. So from this high to this pivot low right here, let's see what that is worth if we do the NASDAQ. So we're going to cover this trade. So from that pivot high to that pivot low is $575. Now watch, this will be one of those times my example won't work. Let's bring the E-mini over now. So here's the same move from here to here. Let's see what the E-mini is worth. So we're going to enter there. We're going to exit there. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to enter here and we're going to exit. Oops, sorry. Stop it. Okay, here we go. All right, so that move is worth $325. And what was it worth on the NQ? It was 500 and change. So I'm going to enter up here, and it was this pivot right here. Okay, so 575. The E-mini was 325. Now, very often, this is a little bit more lopsided than normal, but usually, if you get the $500 or $600 move in the NASDAQ, you're going to get a $500 or $600 move in the E-mini as well. This morning, the NASDAQ really shining, but the differences don't stop there. Because the NASDAQ is only $5 a tick, and the E-mini is $12.50 a tick, you can very often take at least 2 contracts, sometimes 3, for every E-mini trade that you can take, every E-mini contract. So that means that you have the potential to earn twice as much, or sometimes even 3 times as much, as you would trading the E-mini. So you can also double your profits while maintaining the same dollar risk amount. Now that, besides earning more profit, you also have more options with your trade. If you're trading a single contract, the big problem is always, do I take profit or don't I? Do I try to run it out or don't I? Well, if you have the ability to trade multiple contracts, it gives you some flexibility. You can take partial profit. You can try to leave a runner in play in case the market goes higher or lower, whatever the case may be. Not so easy to do if you are trading singles. So there, in a nutshell, are the reasons I prefer trading the NASDAQ over the E-mini. Now, there's nothing wrong with the E-mini. The E-mini certainly sounds better when you're at cocktail parties and you tell people, ask, what are you doing? Oh, I'm trading the E-mini S&P. Oh, really? That sounds a lot more impressive than, oh, I'm trading the NASDAQ. Oh, really? But the same holds true for the mini Dow. That's the YM. also a $5 instrument. So, don't just let tick value be your guide. Do a little bit of homework. Compare the size of each rally and compare a few. Compare big ones, compare little ones. I think you're going to be surprised at how often the dollar amounts are almost the same. They're never going to be exact. Sometimes the E-mini will be worth more. Sometimes the NASDAQ will be worth more. Sometimes they will be almost spot on. But like I said, you shouldn't let the tick value be your guide. Les is asking, what about liquidity? The NASDAQ is huge, and here we're going to do a little. I'm going to pull over so you can see how to do this on your own. I'm going to do a new market analyzer. And that's going to give you a box like this. And if you right click on it, we're going to adjust our columns. So I don't need prices, but I do want to see volume. And then right click and add your NASDAQ. And then right click and add your E-mini. And you can do this for any market that you're interested in. Let's say I was looking to compare all the different indices. There's the mid cap, and somewhere around here I have the Russell. Okay. Even the Russell, even the mid cap at 4,600 will not slip you, or very rarely will slip you. It's actually a very tame market. But, mini Dow. Let's throw the mini Dow on here. But sure, the E-mini is staggering, but really that's only important if you're going to be trading 20 or 30 contracts at a time. The NASDAQ, which is the next largest, will comfortably absorb 10 or 15 contracts at a time without any slippage. Usually, the way the markets was bouncing around yesterday, I was getting slipped on a single contract. Not substantially so, but even a tick or two. Likewise, for the mini Dow, the YM, you're not going to experience any slippage there until you start trading 20, 25 contracts at a time. Well, then it's time to graduate to the E-mini. But no, otherwise, even the Russell, you can easily throw 10 contracts at the Russell. It won't even flinch. But, those are good problems to have if you're trading so much volume that we need to worry about slipping the market. If you're only trading singles, onesie, twosie type things, personally, well, like I said, I feature the NASDAQ mostly in the trading room here. For those of you, listen, folks, I haven't had a request for another market for a while, and probably because I forgot to mention it. But if you're following something else, or if you want to see something else, please just ask. If you would like to see crude oil or gold or the euro dollar or whatever, if I can get it on my data feed, I will pull it up and show it to you. But my personal favorite, my go-to, is the NASDAQ. It's got loads of volatility. It's got good directionality once it seems to settle down. Just overall, I think it's a great market, and the $5 a tick is pretty tough to beat. Okay, we've had a couple opportunities here. I was looking actually to take advantage of this cloud crossover, but I'm a little bit late on it. So I'll look now for a hard edge bounce and maybe a chance to get in. We're about 20 minutes into the session, so I'm thinking maybe things have calmed down enough by now. I could throw my just in case order in here below the lows, that kind of idea. Oh, what's going on here? Let's try that again. So here's my just in case order. Ooh. Just in case the bottom falls out of the market, which doesn't look very likely right now. All right. They made a little bit of a pushback, so we'll leave them alone for now. You can see a very, very sideways kind of morning here. This is on the Eagle Trend Trader. Oh yes, here, let me review again for those of you new in the room. And please don't be shy about asking questions. If you're looking at my screen here and you're wondering, what the heck is all that? Well, this is the full DTS system. Here in the top left, I have the Hawk Micro Scalper. Top right is the Falcon Swing Trader. Bottom left is the Eagle Trend Trader. And the bottom right is the Raptor. Now, many of you will be Raptor owners. So I'm focusing mostly on the Raptor because I think there's mostly Raptor owners in the room. The Raptor is a hybrid. It combines elements of the Hawk, the Falcon, and the Eagle all into one trading platform. The primary signal generation is driven by the Falcon, but it also has elements of the Eagle and the Hawk. So a lot of times the signals will coincide with the other signals, but sometimes the Raptor actually produces signals on its own, especially early counter-trend signals. All right, they are starting to back themselves into a bit of a corner here. We're seeing another retest of this high, this little swing high right here. If they fail and head lower, there is a very good chance the market's going to try to go lower from there. For those of you a little bit more aggressive, you can look to short this number 2 signal right here. We have a second push opportunity. Well, here, let's do it. Oh, and there they go, flying right past me, scoundrels. Jay is asking, how many monitors do you use? I use 3 monitors, Jay. This one that you see, and then I've got my other one currently with the Russell and the E-mini. And then my third one is for hosting the screen sharing software and the chat room and stuff like that. All right, so the number 2 signal there working out very, very nicely. They did kind of blitz me and run right past. We could do an OCO order here as well. If you're tired of chasing the market around, you could just throw an OCO order in, set your stops, and you could look to buy a break above. You could look to short a move below. Oh, shoot, they're bouncing all over the place here. They're just crazy this morning. So when you're using your OCO order, we're not using these features down here. Rather, we're going to right-click on the chart and place our buy, and then right-click on the chart place our sell. These orders, by the way, are live the moment you put them on. So I tend to place them away from where I want them to be, and then I can adjust my trade accordingly. Okay, this is a big deal now, folks. We've got the market in a bit of a bind. Here, another number 2 signal. If you're looking to be a little bit more aggressive, you could try to short below this little low here. That would give you your second push opportunity on the number 2. All right, they're going to try to fill me to the long, or they did fill me to the long side. I'm going to hold my stops here for a moment below that swing. Oh, come on, don't stop now. We're kind of flinching near the high of opening range. Wow. Crazy. Crazy moves here this morning. And here we come back with yet another counter trend signal. I'm not liking that so much. I'll give them a chance to sort themselves out, and then I will get a little bit more aggressive with my stops. Coming back with yet another number 3 signal. This candy striping, when you see it happen like this, when the signal's printing one after the other, that just tells you the market's kind of stuck. It's stuck a little bit sideways, and you may want to wait until it gets out of this sideways range. Come on. Let's get above that high. There. Oh. Oh, whew. Okay, well, we hit break even, and I'm going to activate my break even now. And hopefully the market will push on through the high before they tag me. Get up there. No. All right. Well, that's okay. Should have had a little bit more giddy up on that breakout. Of course, now that I'm out of the trade, they'll go to the moon. Where's the next resistance line above here? We got primary support 64.02, 64.37.5 is the median line. That would make a very realistic target. That would kind of bring us more than halfway into that opening range gap. But you can see they're really, really conflicted here this morning. Very little follow through. Stinkers. All right, here they come. I'm going to look to take the first counter trend signal or sell signal that develops. We're working an early cloud crossover here on the Raptor. Now, the early cloud cross is something that you need to spot manually. The full cloud crossover does not occur, namely the number one signal, until the clouds are fully crossed over. But you see, the clouds are 3/4 of the way crossed over. And come on, give me that little pullback. Well, we already had a first micro macro cross here to short and a trend change in the Falcon. Here comes the cloud crossover signal now on the Raptor. I'm just going to punch in with there it is. Just because the market is moving so fast, I'm going to use the sell order just to punch into that. And I got my break even. Come on. Oh, yes. Excuse me while I mute my microphone for a second. Okay, I feel better now. I'm going to hit the follow-up signal when it prints. I got the warning dots. Come on. $63.70 is a huge number once we get below $63.70. That's where the market started their last little push up about 20 minutes ago. So I've got the warning dots. I'm just waiting for the next signal to sell. Oh, and there's the counter trend. All right. Looking for the number 3 signal. There it is. I'm going to feel a little better about shorting below. Oh, I'm just going to hit it again. If it trades below 63.70, are you going to give me a chance to set that up? You stinkers. Just hit it, Eric. The market is moving a little bit too quick for me here this morning. I'm going to pull my stops back to a reasonable distance, and I'm going to pull my break even a little bit. And this whole zone here at the secondary support line, very, very influential. We got to see the market get below there and stay below there. So my trade here, very, very aggressive. I'm late getting in on this number 3. That's what I was trying to do. But it was moving so fast, I couldn't set up my order properly, so I just hit the sell button. Here now another number 3 signal, which is nice to see, a hard edge bounce. Believe it or not, the best stop for this trade is actually above here, above the 63.99 line. I know, huge stop, but that is the correct stop. I'm using air quotes when I say that. The correct stop for this trade. Oh, look at that. They're gonna run my stops, scoundrels. Yeah, I didn't do that right. I should have had a little bit more respect here for the 63.70 zone. Sorry about that. All right, well, I got a little bit of work to do now, don't I? Dug a nice little hole, got to try to get out of. Still not convinced that I was on the wrong side of that trading equation. Rather, I was unable to hang on long enough. And you can see they're heading lower again. Again, an opportunity, you could do an OCO type order where you could just bracket the trade. And again, with these OCO type things, the orders are live when you put them on, so you want to place them away and then bring them in to where you want them to be. We're going to work a cloud crossover signal. I know, everything's developing so quickly here this morning. I'm going to give them a few ticks here on the buy side as well. Just trying to take some of this volatility into account. Okay, clouds now stacked in a bullish fashion. So we're getting a lot of back and forth. So a number one signal, a cloud crossover forming now to the buy side. Sometimes when the market is working this way, it's almost as easy just to use a bracket order. All right, so they're going to try to go long, and I'm going to try to pull my stop a little bit here just to give them a little bit more elbow room to start. Let's see if the buyers really have it in them. Okay, back near the high of the morning. I'll take the break even. Oh no. You. It's one of those days. Wow, just the constant back and forth churning. Not quite sure why the market is so volatile this morning, but it certainly is volatile. Maybe because it's moving so fast, I should stick with the Hawk scalper. Had a first micro macro cross signal here, worked out. Another first micro macro cross lower there. And now another move higher, so they are all over the map here this morning. Looks like the best move was the first move. Okay, we're going to produce a number 2 signal here if the market heads any lower. We're looking at a test of the extreme, or a retest of the high. If we get the failure, that will give us a number 2 signal. That may actually be saleable, you know that? Just with the back and forth craziness this morning. I wonder if I should try to short that. The trend is up. We're getting some follow-through signals. Nothing really resembling a hard edge bounce just yet. Oh, got a nice little late filter entry signal here on the Falcon. So a couple late filter entry signals. And we have a chance at a second push entry on that as well. The second push entry simply means we allow the signal to engage, and then we see where the market flinches. And I'm going to try to run this one a little bit, see if I can't offset that earlier loss somewhat. A lot of times it's not as tough picking the direction as it is structuring your trade so that you don't get stopped out prematurely. But today, it's as much of a challenge to choose the market's direction as it is to structure a trade. Look at this. Do I have to start running a monster stop? Is that what it is? Like my stops aren't big enough already? Wow. Oh, look at that. Well, I am not happy about that one bit. Okay, well, more of the back and forth. This is this morning's session. Look at that. What a roller coaster. And this is the Eagle. This is the trend trader. We don't see days like this on the Eagle. Wow, that's just brutal. that pretty much summarizes today's trading. Brutal. Well, they don't want to go up. What do we think? Do they want to go down? Things slowing again, the hawk into yellow bars, the falcon trying to, well, the falcon's just a write-off. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Here comes the raptor now with a counter trend signal. It's into the hard edge. We are getting a second push opportunity on this one. Again, the second push simply means the signal engages. We see where the market reacts, and I'd better try to run this one out a little bit as well. I'll reset my buy order, and I'm going to bring it back down here to 60, the whole 63.70 zone. The bar's not moving quite as fast as they were. That was a long opening range. We're 45 minutes in and things are just starting to settle down a little bit. You could interpret this signal as an early cloud crossover. The clouds crossed or almost fully crossed. We have the pullback and the signal. The official #1 cloud crossover signal won't develop until the clouds are crossed over, however. All right, here we go. So there now is the official #1 signal, the official cloud crossover. And so far, it's trying. This is more of a normal pace now for the NASDAQ. I should have just left it alone while it was losing its mind. Okay, I'm going to bring my break even in here now. So when and if the market heads back to the 63.88 zone, I'll take the break even stop out. Okay, we've got the #3 signal, the hard edge bounce, and that's close enough to break even for me. And I've got the ATR stops working here at the moment. Actually, I wonder, take it back toward the low of the morning? Is that asking too much? 63.70 is almost a given. But getting below 63.70, that's going to be the challenge. That's held the market back a few times now. Nope. A little bit too quick on that, but at least I got part of my money back. Hooray for me. Okay, another hard edge bounce. And because the market is kind of flip-flopping here a little bit, I would probably look to trade on the move back here below. Well, maybe not quite below that swing low, but certainly below here the number 3 signal. In fact, you could set up for that. Is that going to be enough room? So if we get another sell signal, we will get a follow-up number 3 signal. I know it looks like I'm leaving an awful lot of room here, but when the market bounces around like this, it's not unusual to see it fudge the signals by a full point or two. I don't want to get caught on the wrong side again. Here now a number 3 signal forming again. You saw the warning, a hard edge sell. That's the number 3 signal. Yeah, Ryman says half a gap got filled, which will be enough for a lot of traders. The buyer's not walking away yet. The hawk, pretty much a mess. The eagle right in the midst of the trading band, the falcon back and forth. I'll just stay with the raptor here for now. Are we going to get a hard edge, or pardon me, a cloud crossover slash hard edge buy to the long side? No. No, not yet. So when your cloud starts to get all twisted here like a rope, you know the market's moving sideways as well. While we're waiting for the market, there will be no trading room Thursday or Friday. I apologize. I've got to head out of town the next couple of days, and I'm just not going to be able to host the trading room in the morning. I mentioned this the other day. The next couple of weeks are a little bit of a mishmash for me. I got a lot of things going on, a little bit of traveling to do. The trading room will reopen on Monday, but I'm sorry, no room on Thursday or Friday this week. All right, well, here come There go the buyers. I was going to say, here come the buyers. Nope. Um, again, if you wanted, there's an OCO type opportunity. You could throw a buy order in above there. I probably would not be too keen to short anywhere above that swing low right there. And we want to make sure we have our stops engaged. It's a funny kind of day here this morning. I knew 6,400 was going to be a bit of a problem area, as it was yesterday as well. Market not moving too far from either side of 6,400, and it looks like today is no different. All right, looks like they're going to try to fill it to the long side again, maybe. But, all right, there they go. The buyer's not going away. Oh, look at that. I got to hold my stop yet again. Wow, brutal. Yeah, like that wasn't a trading range the sellers weren't waiting for. That's crazy. Don't blink, you may miss the action. Oh, way to go, Mark. Mark says, took a late filter entry, took a lot of heat, but it finally paid off. Yeah, there's a lot of heat in here. It's just crazy. All right, another run up. Back toward the 6,400 zone. No, not yet. I'm going to move my break even to the other side here of the primary support zone. Oh, they're not even going to give me a chance. Look at that. No lack of volatility here this morning, but not a fun day to trade. Checking out the bottom end of the trading range. Yeah, Mark says no lack of volatility, but no love either. What a contrast. Yesterday was just a wonderful trading day, more opportunities than I could take advantage of, and it was a terrific, very profitable day. And what a struggle today. What a contrast between the two. Yeah, Ryman, you got the right idea here. Ryman says, I stay on the side when the market goes sideways because it never works out for me. I do not do the OCO orders. OCO orders are tricky. And you're absolutely correct. You know, you got to take the context of the day into account. Really, you know, the markets, except for that first 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of the open, the market has been in a sideways funk. And impossible to trade, really. Here's the, let's take a look here. If I, let's say we look at a 15-minute. So here was the opening bar. There's the opening bar. And for the last 45 minutes, the market just thrashing back and forth and back and forth. And back and forth. Wow. Okay, well, I think, you know, sometimes I get a little carried away because of the trading room and all, but this is just too wild. We have broken out of that sideways range. And it looks like are we going to get another pullback signal here? There it is. So this is just a basic follow-up signal. 63.70, you know, remains my target. And once again, I'm going to try to stretch this out a little bit. See if maybe back here toward the low of the morning, maybe somewhere around the 63.50 mark. If we get below this support zone at 63.88, pardon me, 63.68 quarter, there should be some follow through. That's kind of been what's been holding the market up all morning. Okay, well, we're getting some follow through this time. Down to the break even. I'm really trying to give them some room this time. Oh, come on. Oh, oh, brutal. Oh, just wild. Okay, here they come with the number 3 signal. I got a second push opportunity on that. You know, I should I should just be taking profit on target. Uh, now, Mark showing off says I went 3 for 3. All right. Okay, 63.50 is the price I'm hunting for, which will get us back near where the rally started this morning. The low of the morning, 63.37 quarter. No, no, they're just bouncing around too much here this morning. They might get a little bit better this afternoon, but this morning, obviously, they're very little follow through. And I found myself a little late coming into some of the signals as well, which is never good. right, well, that's how it goes sometimes. You just gotta pick and choose. But like I said, the way it is right now, the market very, very sideways. We're just still stuck in a sideways funk. All right, cloud crossover now to the long side. Are they going to stay bullish this time? You could throw an order in above there. Paul's asking, I don't get a target when I hit the buy and sell button. You want to make sure that you have your targets enabled, and I don't think you need to have your trail indicator enabled, but you certainly have to have your targets enabled. And if you have your target set at 100%, you will always get a target engaged. All right, there they go. look at that. I actually hit a profit target for a change instead of getting tagged at break even. And of course, now that I'm out, watch the market just rally much higher. Well, it was still nice to post a winning trade there. That will help a little bit, offset some of the carnage from this morning. Oh, look at that. Oh, such is trading. Not my day today. Sometimes, when it comes to trading, waiting, it's the hardest thing to do. Okay, Paul says, I have 100% set and a target set, but no target on the buy and sell. I'm not going to do it here, Paul, but what you can try is you can right click on your chart and you can reload your Ninja script. Not while you're in a trade, by the way. And if that still hasn't solved the problem for you, before I get you to write Ben, try restarting your NinjaTrader. So close your NinjaTrader, restart it, and if that still hasn't fixed the problem, then shoot an email over to Ben, and he will get that squared away for you. Usually what happens is if you don't have 100% set here, and if you can only trade a single contract, it will not give you a profit target because it will assume that you would rather have the runner than the single. See, like for instance, let's dial this up to 100%. And if I hit, and I'm just randomly hitting buy here, folks. But if I hit the buy, you can see I've got my contracts set as per my risk parameters and my stop, because I have a default 30 tick stop. And because I am at 100%, it will also give me my profit target. Now, if I had a stop enabled, let's say I had a, say like a chandelier stop enabled, or here, let's make it a little bit deeper still. Let's go with a swing low. All right, so the swing stop is back here. If I have my stop enabled and I hit my buy button, notice I've only got one contract and my stop is enabled wherever my stop strategy is at. But I still have my profit target, so that should be working for you. But like I said, if you have any difficulty with it after trying your reload Ninja script and your Ninja reboot, shoot an email over to Ben. Only reason I tell you to do those two things is those are the first two things he's going to have you do. He's going to tell you, did you reboot your Ninja? Did you try your reload Ninja script? Because those are the first two things he's going to tell you. That's why I'm suggesting that for you. Oh, way to go, Mark. Mark says, I took one more, took that late filter entry signal. Yeah, that's almost a classic, isn't it? The trend line nice and flat, filter out of sync, back into sync, and very good follow through on that. So the market is calming down a little. It does look as though the buyers are in control here today, but having said that, I do fully expect the market to keep thrashing about more of the same. I'm almost back to break even on the day in spite of my earlier mistakes. Let's see if I can't sneak out one more trade. All right, well, see, as has been the case, the quick run up and now the counter trend coming back. I'm not going to commit to the counter trend this time. I do think that we have more of a bullish bent today, in spite of the frequent and sometimes rather violent pullbacks. If you're going to continue trading this afternoon, I think, like I said, a move higher, maybe back to near where the market kind of finished yesterday, around the 64.60 zone, seems like a very plausible target, as we are trading well within yesterday's trading range. Again, a reminder, no trading room Thursday or Friday, and I do apologize for the inconvenience. I will see you on Monday. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.